What up, guys? What up, guys? Welcome back once again. This week, there's a whole lot to talk about. A whole lot to talk about. There's been a lot of surprising results over the weekend. Some results not so surprising, but you know what, guys? Let's get into it. Firstly, we are going to be talking about drumrolls, the El Clasico, but of course, it's going to bring a whole lot of emotions. Of course, it's going to bring a whole lot of flair, and of course, it's going to bring a whole lot of goals. And this, yesterday, the last Clasico produced 3 goals. Should have been more than that, should have been 5. With better timing, Madrid will be going home with a healthier lead. But they make do with what they have, especially coming into this El Clasico. There has been a whole lot of talk about how the El Clasico is dying since the time of Messi Ronaldo. The El Clasico has not really lived up to its potential, but right now we can see the El Clasico coming back to the El Clasico we know, the competitiveness in the game, the desire to win. It has never been more than before. You understand? Barcelona coming into this El Clasico had hot El Clasico form of winning 4 El Clasico in a row. Madrid had to do something special to to make sure that they go home with the win, especially since they are playing at home in the Bernabeu. The last time they played back at home in the Bernabeu, they went home with about 4 goals. It's something that they needed to change, and of course they got the result that they wanted. A lot of stick is going to go to Lamine Yamal, because coming into this game he had a lot to talk about. He had so much talk before the game, and people will try to beat down on him, but I understand him. He's a showman, just like Muhammad Ali always said. And before the matches, he talk a whole lot of shit so that the emotions, the opponents will get into the mindset to do something stupid. It didn't work for him now. Maybe it might work for him later. We wouldn't know. But it's what we love to see. Football is a game of showmanship. It's a game of mind games. So it was a great one for Madrid. Kudos to Xabi Alonso, his first a Clasico winning. Kudos to him. Chelsea, Alpha, Chelsea. All these Chelsea fans, you're always shouting your players are the best in the world. Palmer is the best winger in the world. Enzo Fernandez, best midfielder. Caicedo, best DM. João Pedro, the best in after sliced bread. What happened to your best in the world? You could not beat newly promoted Sunderland. It was a really disappointing result for Chelsea. And Chelsea fans right now, they are left, scratching their head, wondering what went wrong, especially coming into the match. There is this whole talk about winning against Sunderland, that they will be 2 points behind Arsenal before Arsenal plays their match on Sunday. But Chelsea could not get the win. It was so disappointing. They could not even go on with the draw. Their defense was also in shambles. I did not understand what Chaluba and Tosin were doing, holding Bobby up for about 7 seconds and giving him the time and space. You don't do that in the Premier League. You don't give players space, you don't give them that much time. They are going to hurt you. Of course, set piece again coming to play a strong part in the game. Sunderland scoring by set piece, equalizing, and these are the things that we love to see in the Premier League. Another team that we need to give their kudos to is Manchester United. Manchester United, they are in a good form right now. For the first time under their manager Amorim, they've won 3 Premier League games in a row, and this has taken them up on the Premier League table standings against Brighton, a team which they've lost the last 2 home games against, conceding over 3 goals in each of those matches. It was refreshing to see a fresh idea coming from Amorim, a fresh tactics, and a fresh, desire injected by the new players. In Bemo on the score sheet, Cunha on the score sheet, Šeško with an assist. The players are coming to show their faith the result for the faith and the trust that the manager had in them. And these results also come with, a good news for them. Man City lost, Liverpool lost, Chelsea lost. In a weekend where all these guys lost, Man U were able to capitalize, and right now they are in the top five in the Premier League, and that is amazing results. Looking at how they started the league season, looking at their form coming into, the past 3-4 matches, it has been a talk of Amorim out. When is Amorim going to get sacked? When is he going to leave Man U? But right now they are really, really on a groove, and long may it continue. Another interesting result which we need to talk about over the weekend is the match in Serie A between Napoli versus Inter Milan. It was an amazing match between two giants of Italian football. Napoli coming from the disappointing and embarrassing loss against PSV in the Champions League. They really needed to show a reaction. They really needed to show what they are about. And it was an amazing result for them, considering the fact that their top striker, their top scorer, Rasmus Højlund, was injured and could not feature in the match. It didn't matter because De Bruyne and McTominay, they took the match by the scruff of the neck, and they show the desire of champions. They show the Italian reigning champions show what they are made of, and this is a very important match that they had to win against one of their title contenders in Inter Milan. Inter Milan, of course, we know how strong they are defensively, how organized and tactically detailed their teams always are, and they are no walkover. And to win this match against them 3-1, it was an amazing result for them. Of course, it took them top of the Serie A standing, level on points with Roma on 18 points, 1 point above AC Milan, and 3 points above Inter Milan. It's really, really early times in the league, but these are the matches that they need to win. Matches against teams in and around them, matches against AC Milan, the Inter Milans, the Romas. They need to win this match if they want to have any chance of defending their Scudetto title. Liverpool. Very funny, quite funny, because Liverpool fans have this weird thing that they do. They are always blowing hot or blowing cold. When their team is on good form, they are always shouting, making a whole lot of noise. But when their team seems to hit a rough patch, exactly the times that their teams need them behind them, they start talking. Imagine a lot of if you go online, you see a lot of Liverpool fans talking about and slots out. Come on, guys. This guy won you the Premier League in his first season in the Premier League. Have some respect on your coach, have some respect on your players. Talking about Salah and all that. This is a legend. You guys need to respect him. Of course, it's been a disappointing result for you guys. 4 straight loss in the Premier League. It's not a good result. It's not a good look. The team really needs to do something to change their results if they want to stand the chance of competing in the Premier League, because in the Premier League there is no free handout. You need to work for your results. You need to do the hard work. You need to go to the basic, defend your set pieces, be organized in your press, be structurally strong in terms of when to go forward, when to defend, when to stay back, when to stay compact, how to jump into the attack, and all those things. They really need to to organize this. I have faith in Ancelotti to really come up with something, and it's not really his fault because right now he's caught in a mind between two systems. It reminds me of when Steven Gerrard was in his final days playing for Liverpool, and we were not sure which Liverpool team was going to turn up because they really needed to face Steven Gerrard. It's not always easy phasing out a legend, and that is exactly what Ancelotti is facing right now with Mo Salah. In the midweek against Frankfurt, you could see that with the players that Ancelotti brought in, that is the style that he sees as the future of his team. That is the style that he wants to play. But sidelining a player of the ilk and the caliber of Mo Salah, the status of Mo Salah is not always easy because once you sideline him, there's always going to be problem in the dressing room. He's a player that has, the ears of the players. He's a leader in the dressing room. So sidelining him is going to come with a whole lot of issues. I'm just looking to see how Ancelotti is going to change this. Of course, if he doesn't face Mo Salah and he continues to stick like this, we know how it's going to end. It's going to be a disappointing season for Liverpool because really, 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 they need to do something special right now. Another team that had a disappointing result over the weekend. I was having a conversation with some of my online followers, and I was trying to let them know that although Haaland is in hot form, Man City is beginning to look like the Haaland team. In those days when we talk about Tottenham being the Hurricane team, that is exactly the position that Man City has found themselves in, whereby if Haaland doesn't score, they struggle to get goals from the wing, the midfield, anywhere. If Haaland doesn't score, they struggle to produce the goals to win matches. And against Aston Villa, where Haaland really didn't, wasn't really on point. He didn't really the Haaland that we know will take one or two of those chances that he had, but he didn't take those chances. And that is the problem of depending on one player for the goals. Right now, the way the league is going, the way football is going, really, you really need to spread the goals around your team. You really need to have at least two, three, four consistent goal scorers for you to have a chance of winning matches consistently. There's nothing wrong with having a striker of Haaland's caliber coming in, producing the goals, but they really need to spread the goals. And a very disappointing result, which made them drop in the table, now 6 points behind Arsenal. Arsenal is a team that they are not looking like they are going to stop anytime soon. Set piece goal, open play goal, you come to them with low block, they'll find a solution with set piece. You open up against them, they'll cut you apart. In fact, it's you want to attack them, they are perfectly fine defending for long stretches of the game against Crystal Palace, which is a team that the Premier League party poopers. They go to Liverpool, they wreak havoc. They go to Man City, they wreak havoc against Arsenal. They show why they are called the party poopers. They really didn't come to play football. They just wanted to sit in a deep, compact block, absorb the pressure, and go on the counter once in a while when they could be able to force an error from the Arsenal players. It almost worked for them, but the defensive integrity of the Arsenal players, the whole Arsenal team as a whole, they defend from the front. In a game where Bukayo Saka was nowhere to be found, Gyökeres was nowhere to be found, Eze was able to come up, he was able to, show why they paid top buck for him. It's really interesting that in this fixture last season, Arsenal versus Crystal Palace, when Eze was still in Crystal Palace, the goal he scored for Arsenal was exactly the same type of goal in the same really area of the 18 yard that he took the shots to score against Arsenal, and now he has scored that type of goal against his former team, Crystal Palace. It's always interesting seeing, players coming against their old team. How are they going to react when they score? And Eze showed some respect to the Palace fans, which the Palace fans, reciprocated with him. And when he was leaving the field, when he was substituted, I was very happy to see the Palace fans clapping him off. It's weird seeing teams, especially teams like West Ham, when Declan Rice is on the pitch, they boo him. Come on, this is a guy that won you an European trophy, after how many years, 149 years or something, and you are booing him. Come on, let's show some respect to your players. And interesting result for us now in a week whereby their title contenders dropped points. Man City dropped points, Liverpool dropped points, Chelsea dropped points. they were able to capitalize. Last season, these were the teams that were the boogie teams for Arsenal. The West Hams, the Fulhams, the Crystal Palaces, the Newcastle. They were the teams where Arsenal really lost their form in the season, the chance to win the Premier League in previous seasons. These were the games, these were the fixtures where they really dropped results. But this season, Arsenal, that's showing a different side to them. That's showing a more hardened, battle hardened side to them, whereby they can be able to grind out those results against those nasty low block teams. And it is just very early in the season. We are just 9 games in. There's still a whole lot of games to play. There's still a whole lot of twisting and turning. There's still a whole lot of surprises to come. We are here to enjoy it as it goes. Till next time, I would say, sayonara.